Have you ever felt like life is slipping through your fingers, each day blurring into the next, while the person you dream of becoming remains just out of reach? Have you ever found yourself wandering through life with a persistent feeling of not quite becoming the person you truly aspire to be? This unsettling sensation often intensifies as a new year dawns, a time when we fervently resolve to cast off negative behaviors and embrace beneficial ones. We tell ourselves, this time, everything will be different. And yet, despite our earnest intentions and lofty promises, we frequently discover that old habits easily reclaim their space in our daily routines. The burning questions remain. How can we bridge that daunting gap between the reality we live and the ideal self we yearn to embody? What is the secret to breaking free from entrenched, undesirable patterns and letting positive disciplines become as effortless and ingrained as breathing? James Clear's widely acclaimed work, Atomic Habits, offers an enlightening roadmap to answer these questions, exploring the mechanics behind habit loops, dopamine surges, and the nuanced power of environmental cues to unlock lasting behavioral change. Imagine the complexity of an airplane taking off from New York bound for Los Angeles. Now, picture that a seemingly inconsequential slight adjustment, merely a 3-degree deviation or about 80 inches, occurs before the plane ascends. Such a minuscule change could cause the aircraft's trajectory to veer drastically, potentially redirecting it toward Tijuana, Mexico, instead of its intended destination. This striking analogy mirrors the hidden power of our daily behaviors. Individually modest decisions, when compounded over time, wield the potential to dramatically alter the direction of our lives, either propelling us to extraordinary heights or steering us into unintended outcomes. Clear's insight: a slight change in your daily habits can guide your life to a very different destination, reminds us that it is not colossal instantaneous bursts of effort that forge success. Rather, the quiet consistency of small improvements is the catalyst for transformational progress. Consider the compelling mathematics of progress. Improving by just 1% every day might seem insignificant in the moment, but over the span of a year, those modest increments compound to yield results that are nearly 38 times greater than your original baseline. Conversely, consistently slipping by 1% daily can gradually erode who you are, pushing you further away from your potential. Whether it's building knowledge, nurturing meaningful relationships, or even accumulating stress and self-doubt, the effects of these incremental habits either construct or corrode our lives bit by bit. In this way, success is not birthed from dramatic, once-in-a-lifetime shifts. Instead, it is the natural product of daily, deliberate choices, small actions that ripple outward over time. Yet the path to transformation is seldom a straight, upward trajectory. When embarking on a journey to better ourselves, the early stages can feel discouragingly stagnant. In what Clear describes as the valley of disappointment, the initial earnest efforts seem to yield little visible change. This phase, where the fruits of labor are not yet ripe, is often the moment when many abandon their ambitions. Still, within this lull lies the hidden genius of the compound effect. Perseverance through these early struggles is critical, as the full power of accumulated positive actions only emerges gradually with time. A pivotal aspect of this transformative process lies in the distinction between goals and systems. Goals are the tangible outcomes we set our sights on, like the exhilarating finish line of a marathon. Systems, on the other hand, are the structured, often mundane processes that guide us steadily toward these outcomes, such as daily training sessions or consistent practice routines. Clear insightfully argues that while goals provide a sense of direction, it is the systems, the steady, persistent daily actions, that truly drive progress. Both successful individuals and those who fall short may harbor identical ambitions, yet it is the methodical, habitual processes that differentiate genuine progress from mere wishful thinking. Systems create sustainable momentum, ensuring that every small step, whether forward or backward, plays a role in shaping our future realities. Delving deeper into the art and science of behavior change, CLEAR identifies three interwoven layers: outcomes, processes, and identity. The outcomes are what one ultimately receives, the visible results of actions. The processes are the deliberate actions undertaken on a daily basis. But the most crucial layer is identity, the beliefs and narratives we uphold about who we are. Rather than simply aspiring to complete a marathon, it becomes far more profound and lasting to internalize the notion of being a runner. Each decision and every action, from lacing up your shoes for a jog to completing that run, casts an indelible vote toward the identity you wish to embody. In time, the repetition of these actions transforms them into automatic behaviors shaped by your true self, demonstrating that authentic, lasting change emerges from redefining your very identity. At the foundation of every habit lies the concept of the habit loop. This loop begins with a cue, a signal such as the buzz of your smartphone that triggers an internal craving, compelling you to take an action. This action, whether checking a notification or engaging in a new behavior, then produces an immediate reward, such as the fleeting satisfaction of engagement. With repetition, the cue, craving, response, and reward form an unbreakable cycle that operates almost automatically, enabling behavior to persist even when motivation wanes. Recognizing and designing this cycle is central to creating and sustaining lasting, positive habits. To unlock the full potential of habit formation, CLEAR lays out 4 immutable laws of behavioral change, each serving as a strategic principle to both develop constructive new routines and dismantle destructive ones. The first law is to make it obvious. Since many of our routines operate at a subconscious level, lifting the veil of automaticity through deliberate awareness is essential. Techniques such as using a habit scorecard, wherein you document and evaluate daily activities as positive, negative, or neutral, can illuminate recurring behavioral patterns that might otherwise go unnoticed. Furthermore, clarity in your commitments transforms vague aspirations into concrete acts. Instead of proclaiming, "I'll get in shape," assert a precise plan like, "I will exercise at 6 a.m. in the living room." Additionally, the strategy of habit stacking, pairing a new habit with a well-established one, for example, after brushing my teeth, I'll stretch for 5 minutes, creates natural triggers for the desired behavior. Even the physical arrangement of your surroundings plays a crucial role. By strategically placing water bottles within sight to prompt hydration or hiding your phone to diminish distractions, you can harness your environment as a silent yet powerful ally. The second law is to make it attractive. Human behavior is deeply influenced by what feels rewarding, with dopamine spikes stemming more from the anticipation of pleasure than the pleasure itself. This means that aligning a tedious task with an enjoyable reward, an approach known as temptation bundling, can make the chore of exercising far more enticing when paired with a stimulating podcast or favorite music track. Moreover, leveraging social influences by joining groups, such as a book club or a running group, can enhance the appeal of a habit through shared enthusiasm and mutual accountability. Conversely, when attempting to break free from negative habits, it is helpful to cast a critical eye on them, highlighting their downsides and rendering them less attractive. By consciously reframing these behaviors, you can strip away their allure and diminish their hold on you. The third law is to make it easy. Here, the emphasis is on simplicity over duration. It is not the length of time you devote to a habit that necessarily cements it, but rather the ease with which you can initiate and repeat the behavior. Reducing friction is key. If your goal is to exercise regularly, choose a gym or set up a workout space that is both conveniently located and always ready for your use. The celebrated 2-minute rule perfectly encapsulates this idea. By committing to a task so brief as to require minimal effort, such as merely putting on your workout shoes, you overcome the inertia of inaction, thus paving the way for more substantial engagement. Conversely, if you wish to discourage a habit you consider harmful, deliberately introduce barriers to increase the effort required, such as unplugging the television to avoid excessive screen time. The fourth law is to make it satisfying. The human mind craves immediate rewards, and when a behavior is immediately gratifying, it is far more likely to be ingrained. One effective method is to visibly chart your progress. Marking off a calendar, adding marbles to a jar, or using any visual tracker can provide a constant reminder of your achievements. Atomic Habits has redefined not only my routines, but also my perspective on growth. Clear's narrative, supported by scientific research and rich personal anecdotes, illustrates a universal truth. Genuine transformation is rooted in the minutiae of daily decisions. Whether you choose to adopt these strategies exactly as outlined or tailor them to meet your specific needs, the underlying message is unmistakable. By mastering your habits, you ultimately seize control of your destiny. Every small, deliberate change is a step toward a far more empowered version of yourself.